topics ranging from health, relationships, socioeconomic issues, life generally. And I gather lessons from life experiences with humans, with people, with organizations, and so on and so forth. But today, I want to just implore you. Please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit on the red button by subscribing. Yeah. On the blue bell to get updates when I upload a new video. Now let's get right into this topic. So this particular video is going to be about first times. You heard me right, first times. I got inspiration from a particular YouTuber. She's someone I love her channel. I love her content, I love her editing, and I saw that she made this video and I actually kind of enjoyed it, so I said I was going to do mine. So guys, let's just get right into it. I have some set of questions. There are some questions here that I have to answer about my first times. Now, okay. So number one question is first job. So my first job was in an estate management organization. Was owned like a sole proprietor. Was a one-man business, and I remember then I was a secretary. I never liked that job. I just gotten out of school, out of university. I was a graduate, and I didn't want to stay at home. I'm not the kind of person that likes sitting down at home. I always want to get my mind busy. I want to make sure I just get myself busy. So I just decided to, take the job, and it was chicken change. It was the money wasn't it at all, not for a graduate. So let me just let it out. I was paid 25,000 naira, and that was very, very little. Although the place wasn't far from my house, I had to take a bus. But when you are doing multiple tasks, or you have multiple job roles in a particular place when you're not being paid a lot of money, so I felt like I was being exploited. I was secretary. I was the one that it was a very, very terrible experience for me. Because at a point, I almost got depressed. Sometimes I would get to the office, I would cry my eyes out when my boss is not around. I have to wipe my face and put my makeup back on, to just smile like everything is okay. But it wasn't something that I was actually I actually wanted to do. But I just had to do it because, man got survive, I remember then I would pull generator. I'll pull imagine me skinny me then. Imagine me, I'm skinny now, but back then I was over skinny. And if I was below 50 kg and I would be pulling generators for my boss, I would sweep, mop, and sometimes they'll come and say, no, this part is not this. I can see some prints here. Can you go and mop it again? I'll go and mop it. I'll go buy food for him and his fiancée. It was somehow, it was quite depressing, but as God will have it, got opportunity to leave the country. But it doesn't mean that was my first job. On other jobs I had were more contract jobs with NGOs, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about my first job. That was my first job, and I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it. So number two is my first boyfriend. So I had my first boyfriend when I was after high school. I finished high school at the end of 16. So I stayed at home for 2 years. So I didn't get admission yet. But I started dating this guy. I started a relationship when I was 18. That's when I said that was my first relationship, my first boyfriend, my first relationship. So let me just give you a brief story. We happened to go to the same. I moved to a new school that was in SS2, and that was where I met the guy. I had a crush on him. It was not actually my first crush though, but I liked him. I liked his person. I'm kind of person that I just like unique human beings. As a unique person, as a unique girl. What do you mean? So I just like the guy. I didn't know the guy liked me, but I knew he was close to one girl at one point in school. So I thought maybe they were together, but I didn't want to date in high school, so I didn't bother myself. Although I just liked him, I just admired him. And after high school, a friend of mine, my classmates, that was also his friend, hooked us up. Was like, this guy asked of you, and I like, oh, the guy likes. Nobody you're saying that he likes somebody, person likes you in return. You're like, oh wow. And so we started dating. It didn't last because I guess at that point I was 18. I was new to a lot of things. I didn't know how to start, I didn't know how to make a relationship work. So it didn't work out though. So let's move to the next question before we go back to all those sad stories. Let's just move forward. Moving forward. Yeah, my first crush. Okay, like I said, it wasn't my first crush. what happened was that I left my old school in SS1 going to a different school in SS2. Now, the irony about this whole thing was just funny. Was that the time I was leaving, there were some new students who were actually coming to my school, and then I saw this guy that walked into my class. Was a new student. I'm like, wow, this guy is cute. Now I'm going to give initials. I'm not going to call names, initials. So I know you might be watching this video though, but whatever, you can watch it. I don't, like, just, I don't know. So initials was JE, yeah, and I used to write then. I don't know why I wrote a letter to the new students. It was not the only new students. We had females, we had male students, and all of that. And then I wrote a letter to the new students. He replied me. And fortunately, I discovered that the school I was going to was the school that he actually left to my school. And then, besides exchanging letters, so my cousin then was in my former school, and we used to go to the same church. So she was the one that was like the middleman. She dropped letters. Okay, this person sends this. I sent this back to him. It was just a back and forth letter thing. And fortunately, the guy I later dated, my first boyfriend, that happened to be his own best friend back in high school. Now, when he told me then that his best friend was in my new school, like, oh, are you serious? So like, I want to send a letter to my best friend. Can you help me give my best friend this letter? So they're sending letters to like my friend. My cousin was doing the exchange and everything, but I happened to now hold that letter that I think it was his best friend that sent. That's my so-called future, not necessarily my future boyfriend, my so-called boyfriend. It's sorry, it's not complicated. So that one, I read the letter and I was like, oh, how is this girl that's always sending letters, like the middleman business sending these letters, like, and the girl is kind of cute, girl's kind of this, girl's kind of that, blah blah blah. That was just like one funny story, sure. But you know, I had a crush on this one, the new guy in my school, before I actually now saw this one, you know. And I didn't, what was not between this guy and me and that other guy was fact that we were just exchanging letters. But later on, after high school, like, we didn't really communicate like that. But I later just liked his friend. Like, there was no dating though. We didn't date back in school. You know, even me and this guy that I had the crush on, because coming to my new school, obviously. To my old school, obviously, we didn't date. We didn't date even after I and that's my boyfriend broke up. We did not still date. But it was just like I was trying to explain to you, that was my first crush, and then this other person, like, well, it just happened. So I don't think I just feel like it was like a weird thing. It was a weird thing, but I never, you know, I just feel like it was weird, but I think it was harmless because it was just a crush. I never dated, except for I only dated a guy in my new school, like after secondary school, and that one was not in the picture then. I don't even understand the story, but just understand it. So number 4 is first time I flew airplane, and that was my first time was when I was coming to the United States. And I bet I never entered plane in my entire life. My very first time was when I was coming to the United States, and I was scared. I was so scared. I didn't know what to expect because naturally I used to have motion sickness. In Nigeria, I'm on the road. I'm going on road trips. I would fall sick. I would throw up. Like I didn't like traveling, so I felt like if I enter this plane, enter the airplane, it's going to be worse because I'm going to go in altitude. It's going to be high, like, you know. I just felt like, so my mom already prepared. Like, she bought me peppermint, she bought me Tom Tom, bought me menthol sweets, and you know, as I got into the plane, my dear, I didn't even feel any motion sickness. I didn't feel sick at all, and I told myself, you see, I said, this body is not even meant to suffer. I believe this body is not meant to suffer. I think because the Nigerian condition, my body wasn't fit for Nigerian condition. That is why on the road, when I go on road trips, I always fall sick. But when I was on the plane, you know, as the international body that I have, I just felt like, you know, don't mind me, guys. But that was my first flight though. Now, the next one is my first love letter. And that should be without my crush. Not my crush. That was my first like real love letter. Yeah, that's true. I used to like to write a lot. So I wrote, like, when they're sending letters. I remember my mom found these letters. She was like, how old are you? They are sending love letters. You better go trash this thing. I think that was the beginning of when I actually cut off ties with my so-called crush. So if you're watching this, that was the reason why, we cut off ties at that particular period. Although we're good friends now, but that was what happened then. My mom saw the letters and she was like, I don't even know about it. I don't know if I even told you, but that was what happened then. So that was my first love letter. It was to my crush. That was my first love letter. Like, I don't know, those days, but it was simple and harmless. Like, it was cute. Things were just cute. No rotten feelings, but just cute. Just like, just like someone. Like, it was a love letter, And then we'll spray perfume. I don't know if you guys did that in your own time. Spray perfume. There was these fine stickers that I used to put. Sometimes I put glitters and stickers on the letters. Like, it was funny. I know, funny enough. There was also one particular guy in my school that lived around my area, because sometimes I have to see my cousin on Sundays and I could not wait for my cousin to get closer to my cousin. So they'll give someone give it to my friend. That guy in my class too. Let's be in my class. That guy will come from his own street. I have to not from. We didn't live far from each other. We will not come job. My dad will say, "Oh, Bimbo, come. Your boyfriend has brought letter. You have gotten letter." And funny enough, my dad never read my letters. But Nigerian moms, I don't know how to describe it. But my dad never read my. Funny enough, my dad said, "Your boyfriend is here. Come and collect a letter." Like, he knew that I could not have a boyfriend at my age. Like, But my dad was just free. Like, you understand. And I think my mom became like more open and free after we lost our dad. Like, she now became very, very like calm. She became calmer. We became closer to our mom. I remember then, my mom wasn't in support of my first relationship. First, I was young. I was 18. I was not in school yet, and then the guy was in school, and she felt like, no, that she's facing my studies. The guy is facing his own studies. Why am I having a boyfriend? She's focusing on my admission. I'm getting my admission. But years later, in my 20s, my mom called me. I was like, I want to apologize for that day. You came up to me and then you told me you kind of shared your life with me, and then I was like angry with you that she would not apologize. I was like, well, it's too late. We don't know that together, so it's too late. But anyway, the next one should be my first heartbreak. Funny enough, my first heartbreak wasn't caused by a guy. It was when I lost my dad. That was my first heartbreak. I felt so sad. When you watch movies and people die in movies, and then you realize that you just lost someone physically. You lost your dad physically. That was heartbreaking. And funny enough, as children, we never even showed our sins, but we never cried for people to see us cry, but we grieved. We grieved in our closet, we grieved, we cried. But that was my first heartbreak when I lost my dad. So those guys are thinking that you guys are thinking that you broke up with me, or that we broke up and that you broke my heart. Listen, you didn't break my heart. My first heartbreak was when I lost my dad. So okay, you don't get any cup, you don't get any medal for what, but I don't think any guys don't break my heart before. Let me even see. I think our breakup was always mutual. This I've not really dated. I've not really dated a lot of guys. So yeah. First business. So my first business was when I actually left that job where I was paid that chicken chain that was being used anyhow. I was used, carry fuel, buy fuel, wash toilets. I did a lot in that job. I did a lot of things what you cannot even imagine. So sometimes I feel like people will see me and say, oh, this girl is shine, this girl is looking good, oh, she's enjoying, this person is working. You don't know what the person is. You know the person is suffering back at work. You don't know what the person is going through at work. You don't know if the person is even suffering and smiling. But the person is just trying to put up fake face, fake smile. Everything is all well and good. I'm not saying it's not good for you to look happy and good though. I'm just saying sometimes do not judge the people by his cover. People are going through a lot. And I was going through a lot. So after I left that job, because it wasn't even worth it. I mean, that job should be for people that are maybe doing, you know what, let me not say that, but that job was I was supposed to be a secretary, but I ended up being an errand girl. You know what I meant. So that was it. My first business, that was led me to my first business. So the next thing I took, whatever money I saved, I went to an entrepreneurial, skills acquisition school. I went to learn how to make small chops, cocktails, and then I started my first business. it wasn't, you see, it's not also easy doing business or starting a business, you know. So I started that business, and my sister also joined me, and then she would, when I made the small chops, we would both go together to banks. Sometimes I would go to local government offices. They would take some, they would be sampling for free. A lot of my small chops, so a lot of them ate it for free. They were sampling, and they never even patronize. But I remember one of my first major contacts with that, when I went to a bank, and this particular she was like a top boss there in the bank, and then she was like, our child had his, I think it was a share, our child had the birthday party, so she actually made to come make small chops for her. I was like, wow, that was like, you know, the first breakthrough I ever had with my business. And then I went there, did the small chops. I had to something you're not even used to, but I had to just do it. Like, you know, it's about surviving. That's not about being a Nigerian, you have to survive. And so I went there, I made the small chops. It was good. I came out well. It was successful. And after then, I started having contracts with church. Before I now later got the opportunity to travel out on my master's. So yeah, that was my first business, a small chops business, and I called it Beams La Cream. Those of you that, one of my friends gave me that name, Beams La Cream. Precious. Pardon. Okay. Let me see. I'm about to end this video, but let me see. So the next one should be my first piece, maybe like my first book or first article or poem. So I think my first book I ever wrote, I didn't publish it though, was when I was in JSS 3 in high school. That story was unique. I'm someone who loves like creating stories in my mind. So I created a script, because that time was, I don't know if you remember then back in high school, where there'll be no exams. The exams would have been done. Lecturers or teachers would start marking your scripts, and then you would, now there are times that our seniors will have to come supervise us and come watch us so we don't go out of hand. So that was when I wrote that script, and I told some of my classmates that, you know what, let's act this script out. So it was a unique story that even my seniors that came to watch that script were asking like, please, they've never seen a movie like this before. Where did I get the movie from? What movie did I take this story from? I'm like, all from my mind. It was being acted perfectly. I had the best cast. I was the best director. Like, it was nice. And you know, later on, funny enough, I started saying that story. In movies. After that, you see, what's about ideas is that when God puts an idea in your hands, if you don't make use of that idea, it gives to somebody else. You make use of that idea. If you don't make use of that idea, so immediately someone else will get that idea. Nobody copied you. Ideas, they go around. Like, it all depends on how fast, the speed you take to, you know, actualizing or manifesting or maybe playing out that particular idea you have. Yeah, that was it. And that was my first book. That was my first piece. Yeah, and aside that, I've written a lot of poems. Like, I've had some published here in the US, but it was not like it was an international thing. It was just a school magazine. Yeah, I think I'll put it, if I can find that poem, I'll bring it out and I'll kind of display it on my screen. Yeah, I think I should just stop here. If you have any other questions to ask me about my first, please drop it in the comment section. And I hope you enjoyed this video like I enjoyed this video. It was fun talking about my firsts. So guys, once again, I would say you should just subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. For those who have been my existing subscribers, thanks for your support all this while. I appreciate it. God bless you guys. Have a blessed week. Stay blessed. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share. God bless you. Stay blessed. And remember that Abby loves you. Bye, guys.
Give me chance, give me chance, make I love you. I could be the one. I could be the moon and the sun in the sky. Baby, oh. Tell me who go sing for your radio. Sing. Baby, oh.